Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jess Densley here from Discipline Coach Australia. Here today with one of Victoria's absolute elite agents, on track to write $2 million this calendar year. Current days on market of 11 days. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Flynn.
Cheers, thanks Jess. Thank you, mate.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, no, my pleasure.
Tell us about the drums, mate.
Pre-real estate, I used to play in a band.
Yep.
And when I got into real estate, so I was gigging on a Friday night and Saturday night, then going and doing real estate on the weekends, and it was just, it became too much. I was getting home at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and getting up and having to do appointments on a Saturday, so I had to give up one of the either the drums or the band or real estate, and I opted to elect to give up the band, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it. So I spend most of my time here now, so I keep the drum kit in the office.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful, mate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Adam, I want to get into a snapshot of how you view real estate, your mindset, what sort of disciplines you take to do these massive numbers you're doing. Not about how you do a sale. So first off, Adam, tell me a bit about what does health and fitness look like for Adam Flynn? Tell me what time you wake up, what your diet's like, what do you do around that every day?
Okay, so I've been a bit off the last sort of weeks. I've been so flat sick, but generally speaking, up at 5 AM and go to the gym before work.
5 AM club?
Yep. And in regards to my diet, I've got Sarah over there. She's going to be quite funny. Who's my client services manager. She says I eat like a cat because I eat a lot of tuna and chicken. So I try and eat a lot of protein. I try, if I'm going to eat carbs, single ingredient carbs. I'm always harping on about single ingredient carbs. And just try and look, with real estate, you get so flat stick, and it's very, very easy to, being so busy, it's very easy to eat shit food, you know, because you're in between appointments, you think, oh, I'm running out of time and I'm just going to drive through McDonald's or whatever the case might be. And a lot of real estate agents, the back seat of their car tends to look like a McDonald's car park a lot of the time. So I'm very, very mindful of that, and I also am very, very mindful that I believe you need to be eating right to be in a good state, to be having the sort of conversations that you need to be having. And if you're not, don't have a good diet in place, I just don't think you're performing at your best. Yeah,
beautiful, mate. Now tell me, Adam, for me, ongoing training in real estate is something a lot of agents don't do.
Yep.
Tell me what, for Adam Flynn, and obviously for Biggin Scott here,
yep,
what is ongoing training, mentoring, what does it look like, firstly? And secondly, constantly see around throughout Australia, agents will go to seminars and conferences, and I've seen you on stage at Ideas Exchange last Friday, a week ago.
Oh, yep.
People go to a conference, they struggle to implement it after a conference. So tell me a bit about that, on how you view that and why people don't do it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're hardcore. Okay, so we're hardcore in a sense where we've got an internal training program whereby anybody that starts inside our business has to go through an intense training program whereby at the end of that training program they have to sit a listing presentation examination process, which I did touch on at the Ideas Exchange. And it's very confronting because they have to present in front of their peers. So on Monday, for example, we have a new salesperson starting, and we've got somebody starting in commercial as well. So on Monday, we've got a cultural induction day where they'll get to know about the business, about the history, about the non-negotiables within the business. Then from there, we start with the person going into sales. We start an internal examination process, or an internal training program, whereby we talk about the first phone calls, the first point of contact with the client. We talk about where they park their car at the client's house. If they've got an ordinary car, don't park at the front because people will judge you on that. If you've got a really nice car, you park it on the kitchen bench. We talk about, you know, the seating arrangements when they arrive, you know, and sit down in the property. We talk about, you know, how they have to tap into the traumas, about discussion of the 4 marketing methods. So we take the fear away from the whole listing process. What tends to be, what we found in my experience, is that a lot of people fear getting an appraisal. So they start off in the industry. Most principals will give them a desk and a phone, and they then, there's all this fear around prospecting because heaven forbid they get an appraisal. and they have to go and do something that they're not confident and comfortable doing. So we spend a lot of time in regards to the cultivation and making people confident, so that they then want to go out and they want to prospect and they want to put themselves in a position that they're confident in doing something that they're confident in doing. So we spend a lot of time in it. I think it's so important, and we're always forever looking at ways to tweak it and to make it better, and always about industry best practice and innovation. And if we see a good idea, we implement it as soon as we possibly can, because we know without implementation it just tends to go by the wayside. So we spend a lot of time in regards to that.
So no one goes into the Biggin Scott sales team without going past these stages of training?
Correct, and it's what happens from that is it's quite powerful, because in a normal business you got this person who signs up everything on low fees, and you've got this other person over here that does fixed prices, and this other person does auctions, and it's all over the shop. It's a dog's breakfast. Where here, it's consistent. The way I present, the way any of the salespeople present, it's consistent across the board, and that's in turn a very, very powerful thing, because you've got an entire organisation all heading in the same direction, singing from the same hymn book, which is fairly powerful to the marketplace.
And coming back to when Adam Flynn goes to a training seminar, going to Eric this weekend?
I'm not, mate, which is rare. It is rare. I've been most years, but I'm not going this weekend because I'm just under the pump. We've got new offices opening. We've got the Croydon office opening on Monday, Manningham office opening in a month. There's a lot going on.
So as I was saying earlier, a lot of agents will go to a conference, they've been pumped up, motivated for a couple of days, get back to the business, implementation, everything falls away. What does Adam Flynn do around that? If he goes to a seminar, sees something inspiring, you mentioned about implementation.
You've got to implement it. Because what happens is, post seminars, everyone's fired up, they're pumped up, like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, that was awesome, and then they just forget, and they get busy, then it just fizzles out, and it's like when you, at the time of a listing presentation, when the client sees you, they think, this person's freaking awesome, this person's really, really good, I'm going to list with this person. And then if you don't happen to close a business that day, and then as the days progress, they forget how good you were. And they think, and at the end, a lot of the time they just remember, what do they charge and what's the fee structure. So in regards to the implementation, it's sort of similar to closing a listing presentation. You need to close it and implement it and get it in the business as soon as you possibly can. So you can set and forget. You put it in there, it's part of the process now, you can forget about it, because the reality is, as human beings, we will just forget naturally, and we'll just get on with doing what we're always doing, and nothing will ever evolve or progress or change. And all of a sudden, you see these companies doing these great things, and you're like, "Fuck, that's a good idea. Oh, that's right." But you've missed the boat a lot of the time. So
too late.
100%.
So Adam, you've been in real estate 16 years?
16
years.
Yep.
Played also a bit of time in the band as well.
Yes.
But tell me, a lot of agents struggle with terminology of database in terms of how they view clients into the future.
Yep.
Certain activities around that. Tell me a bit about your career around that, and how have you built that in your business, and where do you see the strength of your business today with the actions you've done around that?
Yeah, I reckon we could have done better there.
Yep.
So my background, I've been in this marketplace. So my first 5 years was in an independent agency who had really no database, and then I left there. I actually owned that office across the road.
Okay. Yeah.
When I started there, they were about 13 or 14 in a network. Whilst I was there, we were number 2 in Victoria. But once again, nothing really sophisticated in regards to databasing. Then since we've come here, we started trading here 3.5 years ago, and we're currently the second highest performing Biggin Scott office in Victoria, which we're very, very proud of. And we effectively started from a standing start. But I think that probably the last 12 months, I've really, because if I do something, I do it. I like to pride myself on the fact that I do it well. So we've spent a lot of time in regards to the database. We're using Box and Dice. We've hired an internal database manager to look after that, and we're full on, like from our open for inspections all on the iPad, to what happens post open for inspections, to then the information then goes off to Active Pipe, and that goes into different sources, and then from the information then goes to compare and connects. At the moment, I think we're becoming very, very sophisticated in regards to our database.
Yes.
And we're collecting clean data, and we call her Phantom, which is Kylie Neal.
Yep. Phantom,
who comes in, she then works out, okay, so we've got this information, now what do we do with it? What's the best, what can we best utilise this information for to generate leads and generate business? So we're becoming a lot more sophisticated in that area.
Yeah, that's great. Adam, organisations real estate around discipline around organisation. I think one of the biggest things real estate agents struggle with is managing their downtime.
Yep.
What does organisation look like for you? Time in the office, time out of the office, checking emails. How does it look? You're obviously a pretty disciplined guy.
Yes. Look, I'm probably not the best person. Okay, in regards to time away from the office, time. Look, I'm engaged. I get married in August.
Yep. Exciting times.
Yeah, exciting times. I actually really enjoy being here.
Yes.
Okay. My fiance doesn't enjoy. She doesn't enjoy me being here, but a lot of the times I'm here. A lot of the time, but I enjoy being here. So for me, I think just on that, this wasn't a question that you've asked me, but I think it's on that. I think it's important that your partner at home is aware of the sort of beast that you are, and without that support at home, I think it's really, really hard. And you see a lot of people, they who could have been really, really good, give up stellar careers because they don't have the support at home. Now,
yes.
I'm people say, quality of life and real estate and so forth. Real estate is a lifestyle in itself.
Yes, yeah.
So the biggest sacrifice we make is our time. It's our time invested in the business. People say, is it hard work? No, it's not hard work. Digging a hole on the side of the road in 50 degrees, that's hard work.
Yes.
This is not hard work.
Yeah.
It can be mentally draining, but it's not hard work.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's our time invested in the business. So I spend most of my time here.
Yes.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I try and have, I'm meant to have 5-day work weeks. The guys have 5-day work weeks. I'm generally here 6 days.
Yeah.
Have Sundays off. Go hard while I'm here. Which I think we create an environment. It's also a lot of fun. It's
I can tell it's a great environment walking in the office.
Yeah, it's a young, dynamic group of people, and we all work hard. We all do things. We do things well. I think we're a part of something that we can be proud of as well.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about the walk in the office there. There's all the pictures on the wall. The guys have got cricket bats and.
Yeah. So that's whenever somebody starts within the organisation, we get a photo with them, and it's got no profile, no nothing. It's just got an item of theirs that means something to them. Might be a hobby, might be something that's important to them, just so when clients come in, they can get a bit of a feel for the person that they're dealing with. It's not just real estate. There's a human being behind there as well.
Yeah, so, great, excellent.
Yeah.
Next one, Adam. Marketplace is going pretty well down here.
It's hot.
Good auction last weekend.
Yeah. The market. The market is seriously. In 16 years, I've never seen a market like what it is now. It's mental. Last week, we were just talking about this before the video started. Last week we had one that sold, 530 plus was a quote price, sold for $745,000, $105,000 over reserve.
Yeah.
The market's red hot. Our average day market, as you know, 11 days. I would go as far to say that's the lowest average days on the market in the Victorian marketplace. And I'm open to someone to argue that, but I don't know of any marketplace where the average days on market is that low. So we are just, if they get to auction or get to the closing date, they sell for big bucks, but primarily they're selling well before the auction or the closing date.
There you go, viewers. 11 days on market. So Adam, the next one is if the market crashed tomorrow, you obviously got processes and structures within the business to be able to have days on market of 11 days. Market crashes tomorrow in Melbourne. How does Adam Flynn's business look?
That's awesome. That's a good question. Okay. So I am absolutely not concerned if the market crashes, because the skilled agents in this marketplace, and I haven't had to do a training session with my team in regards to getting price improvements, but the amateur agents in this marketplace are going to be dependent. They're going to be very, very mindful of what happens in the marketplace. The skilled agents realise they create their own economy. Yep. So if the market changes and drops 25%, okay, well, it's as simple as having open and honest conversations with your vendors, getting them into line very, very quickly, and saying, look, we need to meet the market. The beautiful thing about the real estate industry is that we create our own economy. Yes. It's a matter of just list. If it's not selling, price improvement to a point where it sells. So the ability to have open and honest conversations, and to you know, and a lot of the times, and we've been blessed to be in a market where we haven't had to have many of those conversations, but that's where the real agents, you know, there's a clear standout, because those ones who have come into a marketplace where it's just been an extremely buoyant marketplace year on year out, when things change, those agents who haven't had to do that before may struggle. Yeah. Okay. So we are. I believe we're bulletproof in that area.
Yeah, excellent. Tell me about presentation. Look, $1 million.
Oh, well, thank you.
What does presentation look like for staff in the office, for yourself, cars, suits, everything?
Yeah.
How important it is in real estate?
It's very important. So we, in regards to, we're fairly staunch in regards to our attire. Yes. So you probably notice looking around, all the men are wearing corporate ties, yes, name badges. In regards to suits, nothing like you're going to the spring carnival. Needs to be sort of darkish suits, whether it's charcoal, navy, black, whatever the case might be. In regards to shoes, black shoes. So our ladies all wear scarves. They often look like air hostesses. So we pride ourselves on in regards to our presentation. Also, yeah, it's a very good question. We speak to people when some people start off in real estate, they haven't got a nice car, or so we're not delusional to the fact that people, as unfortunate as it is, and people say, oh no, I'm not judgmental, they are. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, a lot of it's subconscious, they will be judgmental. Yes. So we talk to people, say, look, until you're in a position to buy a nice new car, just if you are arriving at an appraisal, just park one house down so they can't see your car, because they're going to judge you. Yes. That's just the reality of it. So we're mindful in regards to our personal presentation, the way we present in the house, the way we demonstrate courtesy and thoroughness, and our listing presentation, it's always consistent, so everybody's doing the same thing, the same way. Out in the marketplace, we look relatively similar. So once again, it's a very, very powerful message to be sending. A lot like when I was talking before about certain agents doing one thing one way and other agents doing another thing another way. People walk in here and it's like a freight train. Everybody's heading in the same direction.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. And obviously, has a lot to do with the success of your business.
Oh, look, I'm just lucky enough to be surrounded by just great people. Yeah, look, my immediate team, I've got Sarah, I've got Sammy, and I've got Angelo, and they're just awesome. We've got good people within the business. We've got DMAC, who's head of commercial industrial. He's just awesome. Great BDM with Matt Dugan. Great property managers. Great admin. Great accounts. Like Fran, who you met at the front. At the front. I mean, Fran is just an industry heavyweight in doing what she does within that role. So I'm just blessed to be surrounded by just a kick-ass team.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. When you mentioned about teams, I see a lot of agents who can't really go through and break through to the next level. They struggle with delegation. Yeah. Obviously, in terms of how they view their whole business. Yeah. How important is it for an agent out there listening today? Can't break through, might be writing 200,000 to 300,000 a year, struggles to let go. What's your view on that?
Yeah, it's a good question, because it often happens. Yeah. People think, oh no, I can't let go of this particular thing because they're not going to be able to do it as good as what I can do it, or whatever the case might be. And I think it just takes time. With me, I want the people around me. So I talk a lot about the flame and the wax, and the flame for me, my flame is being in front of people that want to transact. Yes. It's being in front of people that want to do deals. Yeah. For me, my wax is what Majestic Marasco does, where she's doing the admin and that side of things. And as time has gone on, like Ange and Sam, they're fantastic in regards to dealing with the buyers and dissecting and that's really their flame. Yes. And for me, that would be clunky. Yes. So It's just a matter of identifying your strong points and being really honest with yourself and say, look, I'm shit at this. So I need to find somebody who's really good at this, so then I can focus on doing what I'm good at. Once you get that mindset, that mentality, it's much easier to let go because you're hiring people who are better than you at those roles.
A lot of agents struggle with it. Yeah, it's great. Flame in the wax. There you go. And what about goals and dreams? I know you mentioned earlier when we come in about in terms of the working hours you do, if you have a why and a passion why you do it. It's easy to do now. How often do you review goals? A lot of agents struggle with that. Someone will write up a goal sheet, they never follow it. How often is it reviewed? People following their dreams. Tell me a bit about that for Adam Flynn.
Yeah, it's weekly. For a period of time, there it was daily. I used to do it my ritual was 5 a.m. Same coffee shop. I'm consistent. Like I'm to the point where it's I'm not obsessed by structure, but I just know that I need to have structure for me to enable me to do all the things that I want to do. So it used to be daily. It used to be at the gym, coffee before I went and trained, going through the goal list, making sure I was on target. Every single morning. Now it's it would be a weekly thing now where I'd touch on the goals. And make sure that I'm heading the right direction. Am I off track? Am I on track? Am I above the line? Am I below the line? What do I need to do in regards to making it happen? For myself, there's never been a final destination. I don't think there ever will be. It's always okay. So that's happened. That's happened. And it's been progressive and it's and that's from when we first opened the doors here to to the franchise group, to the new offices, to personal fitness, to everything. But even prior to that, it's been lots of things that led up to that. Then prior to that, it's never been a finishing line. That's why I love what we do, because it's evolving, it's never ending, it's creative, it's it's just, but that's probably a long answer to your question. Weekly, I'd look at the goals and make sure that we're on track.
And how do you keep yourself motivated? Are you internally motivated, externally?
Mate, I don't know. No, look, I'm just pumped, mate. Yeah. Look, people often say that, hey, Flinny, how do you? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what it is. I don't have an off button, mate.
You just go and go.
I just before this interview, we're talking about the same. People saying, "Flynn, don't you get exhausted?" Well, no, I don't. No, sorry, no, I'll take that back. People said, "Flynn, don't you get burnt out?" And I said, "No, I don't. I get tired sometimes, but I don't get burnt out." I think that if you have a purpose, you don't get burnt out. You just, because each day you wake up, it's like, okay, this is what I've got to do today. That's what I've got to do today. So the goal for me is to run a fantastic business here. The goal for me is for the Biggin Scott group to be recognised as the strongest franchise group in the not in Victoria but the Australian marketplace. My goal is to cultivate great people and provide a great environment where they can all be hugely successful and be really proud of what they're a part of. My goal is to finish the bloody house that I've been building for the last 3 years. But all those things, these are all things. I'm getting married in August, obviously, to be there and get married in August. It's my beautiful wife-to-be, Robin. So it's all these things. It's just, why not be pumped? Why not be fired up?
Excellent. And for agents, a lot of agents struggle. We'll have bad days, bad day in real estate. Everyone's got those bad days. Something goes wrong in your day. How do you react? How do you overcome it? Is there certain things you go through?
I probably have a whinge to Marasco or someone. I think you just need to have the ability just to suck it up. I think there's a lot of soft people, and they just whinge and carry on and just just negative and just, for me, I can't stand negativity. So if someone's negative, I've just axed people for my life because they're negative. Unless they're positive and can do people and so forth, I've got an interest in being around them. So I liken, when I'm doing a listing training, I talk about people have stuff going on in their lives, and that's life. Their partner's giving them grief, the kids giving them grief, the mortgage is giving them grief, whatever, something's giving them grief. Now, before you get out of that car and you walk to that front door to present your listing presentation, you need to have the ability to leave whatever it is going on in the car, because you've only got one opportunity to do this. Address it when you come back and do what you need to do. So I liken that, you know, if something really bad is happening or whatever the case may be, I think, well, what's the worst that can happen? You know, really, you're pretty bloody fortunate to be in an environment, living in a country where opportunities are endless. So really, if that's the worst that's going to happen, then far out.
Keep a positive mindset.
Just harden up. Yeah,
move on.
You move on.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it.
And what does the word discipline? I said, what's the word discipline mean to Adam Flynn? It means different things to everyone.
I think it's just doing what you know deep down, what you subconsciously needs to be done for you to have the behaviours that are needed to fulfil your goals. You know, if you're doing things that aren't consistent with where you're heading, then you're not demonstrating the discipline that's required to be successful. There's that great thing on Facebook, and it's got the iceberg, and it's got success, and it's got all the things that failure and this and that, and it's got the people only see the tip of the iceberg. They don't see everything else that goes along with it. So I think discipline a lot of the times is having the ability to do what you need to do, no matter how you're feeling. But you know it's what is warranted for you to be successful. I did a video this morning on Facebook on the way to my appointment, and it was about in regards
While
to
you're driving.
Yeah. Everyone's carrying on. Well, Flinny, you shouldn't do that way. If you can talk on Bluetooth in your car, you can do a video whilst driving. Anyway, this particular video was about everything that's success doesn't happen overnight, but the decision to be successful can happen in an instant. All you need to do is just decide, go, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do, and then get on with it. Because the road to mediocrity is paved with excuses, and you won't be successful overnight, but you can start taking the steps now. Once you make the decision, taking the steps now to get you from where you are to where you want to be.
Yeah, excellent advice. And around mindset, when you started real estate 16 years ago, how you view the world then, in terms of how you view the world now?
I don't think. I was speaking to my fiancée and her friend the other night about this. Not about that exact question, but about this sort of topic. And I reckon my responsibilities have changed. I don't necessarily think the way that I look at the world has really changed since I was 16 years old. I think that what makes Adam Flynn, or anybody, for me personally, my personal opinion is that I haven't really changed. Just my environment's changed, my responsibilities have changed. Therefore, that's made me more considered and more aware and more empathetic. But my core hasn't changed since I was a pup. In my opinion. Just my responsibilities have
changed. Last one before we go. As I said, on track to write $2 million this calendar year.
Correct.
Top 3 tips for listeners, agents who are struggling to break through. As I said, we're focused on discipline and mindset. What do you say are the top 3 tips for an agent who's out there struggling to write fees, wants to take their business to another level? What are the top 3 tips?
Okay. Number 1 is just keep doing the right actions consistently. That comes down to discipline. A lot of people will make the calls and do the right actions and nothing happens, and they go, that doesn't work. It does work. What goes up must come down. So always be asking yourself, freeze test, is what I'm doing right now leading me closer to or further away from the desired outcome? Train and become the best possible lister that you can possibly be. I'm going to hit some nerves here, but that's just the way it is. There's no skill in selling real estate. Okay, so the real skill, maybe top end stuff where it's based on negotiation. I'm talking about multi-million-dollar projects. I'm talking about your normal residential mum and dad real estate agents, or real estate, I should say. There's not a lot of talent that is needed to sell real estate. The skill comes from listing real estate, because if you list the property, you will then sell the property, so you'll be a good salesperson by default, because you'll get all the inquiry and you'll be standing on the door. So become the best possible lister that you can be. And I think that, that in regards to database, make sure you've got a good, clean, strong database, and that is not just your box and dice or your My Desktop or whatever. I think it needs to go further than that. So you need to have a social media presence in regards to your database, You need to be doing creative things with the database, not just all the normal bullshit that gets sent out, but doing things where you can go, yeah, people's eyebrows goes, okay, that's innovative, it's creative, it's 100%, that sets you apart from the competition. There was, to give you an example, there was a friend of mine, Courtney McGuire, who works now for Rock End, and she, I was telling Maddie Dugan about this a few weeks ago, and she was a BDM, and she, to get in people's houses for them to see her, she would, if she tried a few times they wouldn't see her, she would then send them a shoe box, and inside the shoe box there was a shoe, and it would have a note there saying, I'm just trying to get my foot in the door. Well, that's gold. Or another one, right, where she'd send them a card, and then she'd put fake money in there, and then they'd open up the card, and then it would say, wouldn't it be good if money dropped in your lap this easy all the time? Well, that's just...
Excellent, that's just little stuff, simple stuff set you apart.
100%.
Excellent, Excellent advice. Appreciate your time, Adam Flynn. Know you're a busy man.
No worries, mate.
Thanks for dropping by. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, Jess. Cheers, mate.